Hello, everybody. This is Jason, and this is another version of Off the Cuff. Today, I'm going to talk about the an album that was released posthumously for David Bowie, and this is an album called Toy. Now, this is not the actual album cover, but this is what I got to show you on this. Now, of course, I had to do a little bit of research about Toy because I had heard about it, but I never really looked into it. So, this album would have been the follow up to Hours if it had been released. And it was recorded with David Bowie's touring band at the time, which is a band that Bowie used for quite a while, which is Earl Slick on guitar, Jerry Leonard on guitar, Sterling Campbell on drums, Gail Ann Dorsey on bass, and I think there was some other girl that was like a percussionist slash keyboard player, but I don't remember what her name is. But anyway, this was Bowie's touring band. They recorded the album. The album is comprised of songs that, for whatever reason, Bowie never released in his career, or maybe attempted to release and re recorded. So these aren't new songs, these are rather kind of retakes on older songs in Bowie's catalog. Um, Now, normally with a album that's released after an artist dies, I'm usually pretty skeptical about it because, you know, if you didn't choose to release the album, there's usually a reason why. And, like I have plenty of tracks that I've recorded that I've chosen not to release out into the world because I just don't feel like they're good enough. Now I'm not David Bowie, but if Bowie didn't want them out there in the world, but this one's a little different. So researching it, they did finish the album. They did want to release the album, but then there was an issue with the record label. And this is what ended up having Bowie leave Virgin Records, who he had been with for forever. And then he basically set up his own record label, and then he worked on getting distribution for the records through Sony. Now, Bowie's not one to kind of linger on something, so Bowie decided to move forward, and he moved forward with the Heathen album, which, if you've never heard the Heathen album, is a truly great album. This album is closer to Heathen's follow up, Reality, maybe even not quite as good as Reality, so it's at best a mid tier Bowie album, probably more likely a lower tier Bowie album. That being said, it still has a few tracks that are interesting. The opener, I Dig Everything, is a fun song. The London Boys is a good song. Uh, the one song that I was most familiar with is a song called Conversation Piece, which Bowie released as a extra track with Heathen when there was the second disc for that, and that shows up on this album. And then there's a kind of an old song that Bowie's performed occasionally called Can't Help Thinking About Me. Toy is an interesting album. It's worth taking a listen to. The only real problem I have with it is that so far the only way that they've released it is either through a like a box set where you got to buy three other discs and drop like $40 for it, or a like part of Bowie's like a box set of albums. But the thing is I don't need to buy a box set of albums because I already have all of Bowie's albums, and you know, two extra bonus discs of not the actual album is not real content. So, and this is for anybody, you know, bonus tracks are bonus tracks, but they're not real album songs. A bonus track may be worth, half of what a real track is, maybe a third. A lot of people, they treat bonus tracks like it's a whole new thing and like it's a whole, and it's not. It's a it's still a reworking of the same song idea, and it's not a whole new thing. It's not like it's completely separate. It's not like it's a whole fresh idea that you've never heard before. And when you're, saying that when you have two discs or three discs, uh, and two of the discs are bonus tracks, that's not the same as having three different discs. That's the same as having maybe one and a half discs. A bonus CD may be worth a quarter or a half of a real disc. That's just my opinion. I also do have some sad news to report today. Taylor Hawkins, the drummer for Foo Fighters, has died. He was 50 years old, so he's only 2 years older than me. Um, they didn't say anything about the circumstances of his death in the articles that I had seen. Hopefully, it didn't have anything to do with, I know he's had some drug related problems in the past, even though it could even be that, his past kind of a crazy lifestyle could have impacted his health today. I mean, that's definitely possible. But anyway, he was a brilliant drummer, and I was really kind of enjoying the direction the Foo Fighters were beginning to move into. I was really feeling like they were improving as a band. So I hope that they can get that all figured out, and I am sorry and, wish the best for his family and everything like that. All right, guys. Sorry to end on a bummer note, but you have a great rest of your day, okay? Thank you.